Kids for Positive Change is brought to you in part by Robert S. Morrison Foundation, the Ashtabula Foundation, the Kendall Foundation, Huffman Mayer Paulo Wealth Management Group of Wells Fargo Advisors, a friend of Kids for Positive Change, After School Discovery, and viewers like you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Camille with Kids for Positive Change, and this is Bree, the Rescue Rooster. Join Bree, me, and the Kids for Positive Change team to take positive action to curb climate change. Are you ready, Bree? Are you ready? Let's meet the team.
Hi, I'm Sadie.
Giselle.
Michelle.
Jenna.
Jalen.
Emma.
Tyree.
Hi, I'm Clara.
Chance.
Malia.
Quinn.
We are Kids for Positive Change.
We're the Kids for Positive Change, working together so we can arrange bright ideas and actions with help from our heartbeat to heal our planet, 'cause we're one family. Our goal is finding solutions we need to save our planet. Let's start with the seed that grows into actions to help light the way. Kids for Positive Change, come join us today.
Today, we're learning about climate change, fossil fuels, and how we can take positive action. Climate change is a pretty hot topic, literally. Let me explain. First, let's talk about climate. Climate is not the same as weather. Weather changes from day to day. Some days it's sunny, raining, snowing, or windy. Climate is the pattern of weather conditions over a large area over a long period of time, like 30 years or more. Different places on Earth have different climates. There are dry climates, which get little rain, temperate climates that are warm with mild to cold winters, tropical climates that are warm, humid, and wet, polar climates with super cold winters and short, cool summers. The animals, plants, and people living in these places rely on steady climates to survive and thrive.
But climates are changing because the Earth's temperature is rising.
And the Earth's temperature is rising because of greenhouse gases, otherwise known as
Global warming. Global warming is caused by too much carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide in the Earth's atmosphere. These are naturally occurring greenhouse gases, but we've got way too much in the Earth's atmosphere right now because of human activities.
Let's ask an expert to tell us more about global warming and climate change.
I'm John Fleming, and I'm a senior scientist in the Center for Biological Diversity's Climate Law Institute. I do what I do because I love the planet we live on, and in fighting climate change, I hope to maintain much of what the planet has to offer. So that includes the diversity of plant and animal life, the beauty of our national parks and forests, and the ability of people to continue enjoying those things. By fighting climate change, I hope to help prevent the worst harms of climate change and maintain a good quality of life. I want to see the beauty that I enjoy from our planet available for others to enjoy for many years going forward. Climate change is a problem because it's changing our world in ways that make it harder for us to live healthy and meaningful lives. We're now experiencing wildfires and drought in amounts never before seen, heat waves, extreme storms, and other extreme weather. Climate change is happening so quickly that humans and plants and animals are having a hard time adjusting to the changes, making the planet less livable. Climate law refers to the collection of laws that can be used to fight climate change. There are many laws that protect the environment, such as laws to protect our air, protect our water, protect wildlife, protect people. And now that climate change is threatening these things, these laws can be used in new ways to push our leaders to take action on climate. This is why, since it is climate law, I work with attorneys who provide legal arguments for how and why we should protect our environment from climate change, while I provide the scientific reasons. The goal of climate law is to use current and new environmental laws to curb climate change. Sustainable solutions to curb climate change in many ways start with addressing greenhouse gas emissions that are produced by humans. These greenhouse gases act like a blanket that warms the planet. Most of these greenhouse gases come from our use of fossil fuels, meaning oil, gas, and coal. So many sustainable solutions to curb climate change mean reducing our use of fossil fuels. So that means reducing our use of fossil fuels in transportation, so moving from gasoline-powered vehicles to electric vehicles. It means reducing our use of fossil fuels for heating our homes and cooking, so switching from gas to electric appliances. It means removing fossil fuels from how we produce energy, so moving from fossil fuel power plants to clean renewable energy like solar and wind energy. And it means humans reducing their carbon footprint, so reducing how much energy we use, how much we drive, and other actions such as reducing our meat consumption, since animal agriculture is also a large source of greenhouse gas emissions. Kids can be part of the solution by reducing their own carbon footprints, including eating less meat, making efforts to recycle and produce less waste, reduce energy use, such as turning lights off in rooms when empty, walking or biking when possible instead of having their parents drive them. They can also talk to their parents about reducing their own carbon footprints. But perhaps even bigger than these individual actions is to talk to decision makers, meaning congresspeople and senators and local and state leaders, to convince them to take action to transition us to 100% clean renewable energy. Decision makers know that kids are the future and will have to lead in the climate change fight one day, if not now. So kids can help motivate them to do what is right for the climate.
Did you know there are many climate change contributors?
Like what? Burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas used to power car, buses, trains, and planes and used to generate electricity.
Deforestation due to cattle ranching, palm oil plantations, mining, and logging.
Fast fashion.
Plastic production and pollution. And remember, plastics contain oil, a fossil fuel. Industrial agriculture, growing crops using toxic pesticides and fertilizers.
Clearing too much land to grow crops and raise animals for food.
Food waste.
Tyree, it's gonna be okay.
But there are so many climate change contributors.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Let's push pause. There are many climate change contributors that are causing global warming, which is causing climate change. But we don't have to tackle all of them today. It's gonna be okay. Let's focus on
Fossil fuels.
What do fossil fuels have to do with climate change?
Fossil fuels include crude oil, also known as petroleum, coal, and natural gas. Crude oil is transformed into fuels to power cars, trucks, ships, airplanes, and trains. It's also transformed into products like plastic. Humans burn fossil fuels to heat their homes. Electricity uses fossil fuels. Transporting goods and products in cars, trucks, ships, trains, and planes uses fossil fuels too. Using fossil fuels puts a lot of carbon dioxide into Earth's atmosphere, causing Earth to warm at an alarming rate.
And no place on Earth is feeling the heat more than the Arctic. Let's journey to this polar climate to learn more. Are you ready, team?
Ready!
Are you ready? Let's go! The Arctic is the region around the North Pole. The Arctic is called Earth's air conditioner because Arctic sea ice reflects some of the sun's rays back into space, helping to keep the Earth at an even temperature.
The Arctic also helps circulate the world's ocean currents, moving cold and warm water around the globe.
Thus, the Arctic plays a vital role in regulating the world's climate.
The Arctic's polar climate is cold. So cold that nothing can survive here.
Look again. Whoa.
In fact, about 4 million people live in the Arctic, and many plants and animals survive and thrive in this polar habitat, including my favorite animal, the polar bear. The polar bear is the largest bear in the world. A polar bear's paw can be 30 centimeters wide, the size of a dinner plate. Add in 42 razor-sharp teeth, and it's easy to believe polar bears are the Arctic's top predator. Polar bears play a critical role in keeping the Arctic food chain balanced.
The Arctic is also home to the Arctic fox, who uses his or her fluffy tail like a blanket to stay warm when sleeping.
It's time for Quiz Quest with Chance, who's on a quest for knowledge.
True or false? Arctic foxes are called ecosystem engineers because fox poop and parts from their prey make the soil around their dens high in nutrients. Soil high in nutrients leads to healthy grasses, willows, and wildflowers.
True!
I guess we could call all that poop and parts foxy fertilizer.
Other animals who call the Arctic home: Arctic hare, snowy owl, beluga whale, walrus, and the Greenland shark, which scientists estimate can live to 250 to 500 years.
Whoa, there's a lot of biodiversity in the Arctic.
There sure is. And biodiversity relies on a healthy Arctic to survive and thrive, because every animal and plant is interconnected and has a role to play in keeping the Arctic ecosystem balanced. And when the Arctic is healthy,
We're healthy too. But polar climates are getting warmer and melting due to global warming. Animals and plants living in the Arctic are losing their habitats and food sources. Some are vulnerable, endangered, or critically endangered, and at the risk of becoming extinct. As this happens, they can't play their important roles in keeping the ecosystem balanced. This leads to something called a cascading effect. When one thing goes down, it starts a chain reaction.
Not good. It's a triple whammy.
Whammy number 1. Animals and plants in the Arctic are losing their habitats and food sources. Whammy number 2. Loss of sea ice in the Arctic isn't just impacting animals and plants. It's impacting local communities. When the sea ice melts, sea levels rise. Whammy number 3. And when the Arctic's global air conditioner stops working the way it should, global temperatures and precipitation patterns change, and we see more severe weather events throughout the world, which impacts everything and everyone.
This is a big problem.
It sure is.
But together, we can find solutions and take positive action.
We know small steps and bright ideas lead to big results.
are you ready to take positive action?
Yeah!
Our Kids for Positive Change team meet and share their bright ideas to reduce fossil fuels and curb climate change. You can start your very own Kids for Positive Change team. Ask friends and family to meet and talk about how you can take positive action to help the planet. Set goals, take action. What can we do to take positive action?
We can!
Be Earth advocates. To advocate means standing up and speaking about a cause you believe in and asking others to join you. We can advocate for renewable energy sources like wind and solar power. We can advocate by writing a letter to a decision maker and asking companies and countries to switch from fossil fuels to renewable energy alternatives.
Walk, ride bikes, take public transportation, or if we must drive and we're all going to the same place, we can carpool.
Reduce, reuse, and recycle plastics, and better yet, use reusable items instead of plastic.
Choose locally grown foods. When we shop locally, we are not only supporting our communities, but we are cutting down on the amount of fuel used to transport goods.
We have the power to change climate change by the choices we make every day. In the words of my hero, Dr. Jane Goodall, you cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. Let's make a positive difference. Better choices equal a better planet. Let's start today. Are you ready, Bree? Are you ready? Let's begin.
Helpful Habits with Jenna and Jalen.
A habit is a repeated behavior, something we do over and over again every day. We can form helpful habits to help the planet.
We can turn off the lights when we leave a room.
This doesn't seem like a big deal, but if we all get into the habit of turning off the lights when we leave a room, we can save a lot of electricity.
And saving electricity means using less fossil fuels.
Room for Change with Clara and Chance.
You can take positive action for the planet in every room in your home.
Save electricity by closing curtains and blinds in the summer to keep your home cool. In the winter, open curtains and blinds to let the sunlight naturally heat your home. You can also save energy by going outside. Instead of watching television or playing video games that use electricity, go for a hike or a bike ride.
When you're outside, make some earth art. Earth art is art made from, well, earth. Come on, it's fun.
Tyree's Tips with Emma and Tyree.
Layer up. Instead of turning up the heat in the winter, wear extra
layers and use extra blankets at night.
Hot in the summer.
Make a fan! Oh, that's nice.
Make the connection with Quinn and Giselle.
Did you ever wonder about the connection between cows and climate change?
What's the connection?
Raising cows for food puts carbon dioxide into Earth's atmosphere. Plus, cows produce methane, another greenhouse gas causing climate change.
When we eat less meat and more plant-based foods, we cut these greenhouse gas emissions and help the planet.
Now that we've made the connection, pass it on.
Pass on everything you've learned today. One of the most powerful things you can do is share your knowledge with friends and family. Take positive action together.
Make an informative flyer to share your knowledge.
Draw a picture to share your knowledge.
Make a video to share your knowledge.
Write an article for your local newspaper to share your knowledge.
Sadie's Solutions with Sadie.
We've shared many solutions. Make a take action jar to stay on track. You need a glass jar. You can repurpose a pasta jar just like this one. Small pieces of paper. You can repurpose a paper from a homework assignment or use envelopes. And a pencil. Write or draw different action steps you learned today. Walk or ride a bike or carpool. Turn off the lights when you leave a room. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Put the pieces of paper in a glass jar. Every day, choose one piece of paper and take action. Save some paper and your pencil because we'll add to your take action jar next time.
Bree, what do you think of the take action jar? Walk, ride a bike, or carpool to cut back on fossil fuels. Oh, well, sure. Running counts. And the second best thing to saving the planet is chickens running.
It feels good to laugh, doesn't it? I'm not gonna lie. Climate change is a serious problem and sometimes it can get you down. Have you ever heard of climate anxiety? Anxiety happens when we feel tense or fearful about climate change and something that might happen in the future to our planet. By taking positive action, we are doing something to solve the climate change problem, and that makes me feel better. How about you, Bree?
Motivational message with Malia.
Remember, we're in this together. Keep going, keep taking positive action. Take one day at a time.
Bree, the Kids for Positive Change team rocks. Or in chicken speak, walks. But they're not alone. Did you know there are kids across the globe taking positive action for the planet? Let's meet one of them now.
Hi, my name is Olivia and I'm in 9th grade. For my Take Action project, I made a book called Ignored. Ignored is about two little girls called Fatu and Sylvie that are really passionate about climate change, so they decide to make a club. And they advocate a lot for climate change in that club, but eventually the other kids in the club, their voices become louder. And so Fatu and Sylvie can't really be heard, and their activism isn't wanted in their space anymore, the space that they made for themselves. So eventually Fatu and Sylvie leave the club, and they're kind of sad that their voices can't be heard, but eventually they find another space that's for and by people of color and people with disabilities that will emphasize their voices and share ideas with each other without excluding anyone.
Whoa, what an amazing youth change maker. You know what? You are a change maker too. Wherever you go, go the distance for the planet because
local action gets global traction.
We can go the distance for the planet by saving and protecting nature and natural resources in our local communities. When we
turn off the faucet when we brush our teeth.
Take 4-minute showers.
Repurpose water, like using leftover water to water plants.
We are saving fresh water, which has a positive ripple effect locally and globally.
The Arctic may be far away, but always remember,
What we do here matters there.
Because climate change is impacting everything and everyone.
And when we take positive action to curb climate change, we're taking positive action for all animals, humans, and the planet, because we're all connected.
If we can take positive action,
so can you! Whoa, you all rock! Until next time, share your knowledge and keep taking positive action for a cooler climate and a brighter future. See you later. Bye.
Hey Quinn, do you know what carpeted floors have in common?
Not a clue.
Floor tiles. There's a company capturing carbon from the air and turning it into air ink. The air ink is used to make really cool floor tiles.
Way cool!
Hi, Emma.
Hi. What made you get into wanting to help with the earth?
Well, ever since I can remember, I have loved earth and animals and trees and grass and weeds and worms. And I've just always felt a connection to the earth. And when I found out I was in trouble, I felt really helpless. I would watch movies about polar bears and the melting ice sheets, and I would cry. And then I thought one day, I'm like, well, maybe I could help. Maybe I can do something about it. And that's one of the reasons I started Kids for Positive Change.
So, when did the first official episode, even on YouTube, of Kids for Positive Change come out?
Well, that was way back in 2015. I was living in Los Angeles, California at the time. I had a friend who had a son who was 5 years old, and he loved orangutans. And his name was Callan. And the friend of a friend said, hey, would you talk to Callan, because he, at 5 years old, made this lemonade stand with his friends, and he raised all this money to help endangered orangutans.
That is cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I met with him and I showed him my pictures for when I was working with rescued orangutans in Borneo, Indonesia. And as he was talking, I thought, it'd be kind of cool if I just got out my iPhone and recorded him and documented like this amazing work he did. And we invited Orangutan, an organization that he was working with that he donated the money to, and they came. And that was the first little video, Kids for Positive Change, shot on my iPhone in the back, someone's backyard. And that's how it started. Yep, pretty cool.
We're the Kids for Positive Change, working together so we can arrange bright ideas and actions with help from our heartbeat to heal our planet, 'cause we're one family. Our goal is finding solutions we need to save our planet. Let's start with the seed that grows into actions to help light the way. Kids for Positive Change, come join us today.
All right, so it's day 4 of filming. Tell me how is it going, team?
Going pretty good.
Yeah, do you think we've saved the planet?
Yeah. Yes. Almost.
Almost? Do you think kid viewers are going to be super inspired and they're going to take positive action?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, give me your famous line. If we can take positive action,
so can you. Yeah,
Kids for Positive Change is brought to you in part by Robert S. Morrison Foundation, the Ashtabula Foundation, the Kendall Foundation, Huffman Mayer Apollo Wealth Management Group of Wells Fargo Advisors, a friend of Kids for Positive Change, After School Discovery, and viewers like you. Thank you.